What's going on, people? Tony here, Football Fan TV, back again, not with a lot of energy because yet another year we bottled the league. So basically, the energy is not going to be like so much like how it has always been. But yes, regardless, life moves on. Let's speak again. Never have a lot of hope. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. They your chicken before they hatch. That's a saying. Which other saying? Don't put all your mangoes in one basket. Yeah, so basically that. Now, with few games to go, actually, from the time I'm recording this content, there are actually 5 games to go, and Arsenal is currently on top of the Premier League for the time being because City doesn't play until Thursday. That's when Arsenal would have played against Chelsea again. Now, if Arsenal wins against Chelsea, that is on Tuesday, they would be 4 points ahead of Chelsea. Probably they would pile in pressure. Now, that was the state Arsenal was in last season, whereby Arsenal was ahead and Man City was behind. So Man City could do their job, the pressure could be onto Arsenal. Then Arsenal could not handle that pressure. This season, have Arsenal been able to hold that pressure, handle it really so well? Have their minds been straight or not? I really don't know. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be talking about probably 4 or 5 things that might have costed Arsenal the trophy this season. Yeah, Champions League kicked out, last 16, last 8, that's the quarters. At least that was a step from the last time we were in the competition. Now, the Premier League, with 5 games to go, of course, Arsenal looks like they have the toughest run. Spurs, Chelsea first, then Spurs, and there's still Manchester United in that running as well. Spurs only gets to play Liverpool and then Man City. Those are like the hardest games for Man City and Liverpool respectively. So basically, I earlier on said in the season probably Man City gets to win it because of the experience and all that. But then at some point in the season, things changed a little bit because of the direction Arsenal was taking. But then, yeah, here we are again talking with the same energy we had last season. Anyways, point number 1, why probably Arsenal might have not won. Yeah, because there are still some games remaining. There's still a little bit of hope. Some of the people, not me, I gave up already. So the strikers, the goal scoring situation, I think in January, if Arsenal went all in out, maybe Edu, I don't know who we should blame, Edu, maybe the Kroenkes or Arteta for not going in all out and buying a striker. The first mistake done was in the summer. Instead of spending that money on Kai Havertz, don't get me wrong, Kai Havertz has had a very good season. He has been important for the Arsenal. Imagine that money was spent on someone like Ivan Toney or Vlahovic or Sesko or Gyökeres, the striker that Arsenal has been linked to. We would be having a very different conversation right now because you had that period when Arsenal could not score goals. Before Christmas, we were on top of the table. After Christmas, we were not on the table. We lost to West Ham. We lost to Fulham. Now, in those games, clearly you could see the number of chances Arsenal created. And then you could also see, how do they call them, the touches in the opposition box. Imagine you had someone so clinical like Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is not having the best of his seasons. But if he gets in the box with those chances Arsenal was creating by then, would be having some goals, not counting the chances. If you look at also the XG Arsenal has had, probably the highest, higher than last season and all that. So basically, I think the striker situation, like an out and out, a target man who can really make a goal out of no moment. Yeah, if we had that person, we'd be having a different conversation. Also, another reason I think is Arteta not addressing also the right winger situation. Saka is the only player that plays that number right now. Jesus played against City in that number. He looked good. It was a one-off, basically. So Saka, you've seen how he has had injuries. He has had knocks. Not so many of them, of course. Knocks. The fatigue has been really so much, and there's no one to his levels that could easily chip in and do the job. Pedro Neto was available. Diaby was available in the summer. Leon Bailey is another mention that I could really actually have. However much also has his own injury issues. There are other right wing backs in the world that could come in as well. Then, Arteta is one of the reasons I think we're not winning the trophy. His arrogance, sometimes he has been arrogant in a good way, sometimes not. You've seen from the start of the season how he persistently played Kai Havertz in the left center mid position. That was Granit Xhaka's last season. It was a very good position where Xhaka got goals, got assists. He was doing well. So he looked at Havertz as a person who was going to really fit in. But Havertz, in those games he played, they were stinkers. Until a point they gave him that penalty, that sympathy penalty to get him confidence. When he started firing for Arsenal when he was playing in the number 9 role. Now what happens? when he was firing in that role, Arteta decides to tweak the changes. That was until last weekend, the other weekend when Aston Villa beat us. He decided to force in Jesus in the 9 role and forced in Havertz in the left centre mid. That did bite us in the body. Yeah? No Didi. So basically, that is one of the reasons. Arteta's arrogance and persistence is one thing that has costed us, or is going to cost us. Some games are still left. Our defense has been the best in the league, but there has been loopholes in the defense. Now, the left back is that very part of the defense we're going to talk about. Zinchenko is good offense-wise. He invites very well. Progressively, he's so good on the ball. But on defenses, he's not good. You saw last season he costed us against Liverpool. This season, the same thing happened. That Salah goal at Anfield would have come with all 3 points from Anfield. But what happens? Zinchenko is the one beaten, and a goal is conceded. So basically, that left back position has had issues. Tomiyasu has been injury prone. Timber, who Arteta actually had plans to play as a left back, has not been fit. He only played 1 game, and that was from the beginning of the season. So he had to force things. Also, another thing, tried playing Partey as a right back, really. Something that he was trying out, but you don't try out something in a season that you're trying to win the Premier League, because the previous season you failed, you bottled it. How do you start trying things in a weird way? In the whole preseason, Partey was playing as a midfielder. How do you start him in the Premier League as a right back? That's weird, yeah. So basically, the defense injuries, I wouldn't say injuries has had a much say in us bottling the league, because we've had Tomiyasu, Partey, Jesus, Timber, and then Zinchenko, some bits of it. And Smith Rowe has not been an out-and-out starter for the Arsenal. So those are the injuries we've had. I wouldn't say it has had so much in us bottling the league, or bottling it in the coming days to come. Still have fixtures that are coming in. Then our squad, I think our second 11 is not to the levels of the first 11. Now imagine if Saka is off, who do we bring in? We bring Nelson. Is Nelson up to those levels, really? No. In the midfield, imagine, God forbid, Rice got an injury as well. Who was going to fit in? Partey is never fit. I don't know whether he likes playing football or not. Zinchenko doesn't like defending. That's another thing as well. Saliba, if Saliba gets injured, who would fit in? Last season, they say the bigger reason as to why Arsenal never won the trophy or the Premier League title is because Saliba got an injury. Yeah, he got an injury. Yes, if we had probably been fit, we would have been having a different conversation as well. But this season has been there. Imagine he got injured. Who are you going to put in there? Ben White? Or Kivio was going to play like he played in the last games of last season? We do not know. Our squad, just the second 11, is not up to levels like the first 11, because now, like I said it earlier on, the remaining fixtures for Man City, they can win all of them comfortably with their second 11 if they deeply rotate. So basically, the squad is one thing we are going to look at. And then the last thing is the mindset, the mentality of the team. The other season when Arsenal missed the top 4, mentality was blamed. They came back, qualified, and actually tried to compete in the Premier League. We actually almost won the Premier League, but then the mentality wasn't enough. We could not do it because we've never done it, just like Manchester City and all that. This season, conversations have been different. They said probably mentally the team is prepared, they're a little bit more mature, but there's still that immaturity in the team that has been coming in slowly. And just we've had glimpses of the previous season now, like that Aston Villa game. Really, it was a very proper game that you know that Liverpool has lost. It is all in your hands. Win this game, go 4 points clear. What do we do instead? We bottle it. First half we played like we wanted the game. Second half we came like we had nothing to lose. It was Aston Villa that wanted to qualify for the Champions League so well. So depending on what happens in these remaining weeks, of course 5 games left, whether we bottle it, we rebottle it, or we bottle it properly, or we go on a run, and probably God can also listen to our prayers and Manchester City draws 2 games and Liverpool loses 1, probably. Just being in my wildest dreams and imagining things that could happen. I'll be wearing my jersey every time I'll be seeing some of my friends if Arsenal wins the trophy. Anyways, that's all I had this season. This not even this season. I'm already calling a wrap for the season because this was all about bottling. But no worries. Yes, that's all I had for you in this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the thing, share it with someone, tell someone about the podcast. Leave us a comment in the comment section on what you'd like to have us talk about on the podcast. Yeah, we're on our way to 2K. Make sure you subscribe and let's go there together. So boy Tony, and I'm out.